And welcome back to Hannity. So as the world waits to see if the White House will launch a military strike against Syria without congressional approval, tonight the words of top Obama officials are coming back to haunt them. Now here's just one example. Back in 2007, then Senator Obama told the Boston Globe in a question and answer session, quote, "The president does not have the power under the Constitution to unilaterally authorize a military attack in a situation that does not involve stopping an actual or imminent threat to the nation." Well, I can't wait to see how Team Obama tries to spin those comments. Joining me now to help explain that and much more, syndicated columnist, author, good friend, Michelle Malkin. Welcome back, Michelle. Good to see you.
Always glad to be back, Sean. Thank you.
All right. Before you respond to that, I want two other administration officials. We'll start with crazy Uncle Joe. Here's Joe Biden in 2007.
I was chairman of the Judiciary Committee for 17 years, or its ranking member. I teach separation of powers and constitutional law. This is something I know. So I got together and brought a group of constitutional scholars together to write a piece that I'm going to deliver to the whole United States Senate, pointing out the president has no constitutional authority to take this nation to war against a country of 70 million people unless we're attacked or unless there is proof that we are about to be attacked. And if he does, I would move to impeach him. The House obviously has to do that, but I would lead an effort to impeach him. The reason for my doing that, I don't say it lightly. I don't say it lightly. I say it because they should understand that what they were threatening, what they were saying, what was adding up to be, what looked like to the rest of the world what we're about to do, would be the most disastrous thing that could be done at this moment in our history that I can think of.
All right, Michelle, one last one. We'll go to John. I voted for the $87 billion before I voted against it. John Kerry, asked by our old friend Tim Russert, do you believe that the president should get authorization from Congress to embark on a military campaign against Iraq? His answer, absolutely. Your reaction?
Well, let's take a moment to inhale the fumes of arbitrariness, incoherence, and, of course, rank steaming hypocrisy of all of these now administration officials who at the time under the Bush administration had spittle and fleck and foam at the mouth talking about the need for congressional approval and articulating, as Joe Biden did there in his rant, what they considered the right standard for any kind of military intervention. Well, now that's all out the window, of course. And there was a wonderful moment on Twitter yesterday when lots of observers on the left, right, and center were naming this new war of Obama's. And my favorites were Operation Enduring Confusion and Operation That Was Then, This Is Now.
You know, look, we all see over 100,000 people have been killed now. This is only the most recent example, the use of these chemical weapons. You have hundreds of thousands of refugees, as Colonel North said. If there was any possibility of a positive outcome in any way, then there would be, and it was in America's long-term interest. You can't even make that argument here. There is no opposition. There is no upside. There is no democracy that will follow here. And you've got two radical groups killing each other in a civil war that we have no business being involved in, Michelle.
Well, you've hit the nail on the head, Sean. Our national security is paramount. And when you ask the question, are we going to be better off after this intervention? Who is going to be the replacement? Are the people of Syria going to be better off? Obama needs to answer that question. And now he is so flippant and arrogant and contemptuous of the need for any kind of public accountability that not only had there been noises that they didn't need congressional approval, but of course they're fitting at the idea that they need to have any kind of international consensus on this. It's stunning when you think of it, just several years ago when these same people were bemoaning George W. Bush as this cowboy who was going out there wrecking the reputation of America, and that we needed a reset button on that. And now we don't need international approval whatsoever.
It's amazing. Wow. On the UN side, they all demanded it for George W. Bush. On the congressional approval side, they all demanded it. And Joe Biden went as far as to say that it is impeachable if a president does this. So
yeah.
Did they just have a change of heart, or is that they don't? Is this just to save the president's ego? Is this a therapeutic bombing? What is the outcome here? What is the purpose here?
Yes, they're feckless politicians, they're rootless, they're principleless, and I think it bears reminding, as Ollie North did in your previous segment and as you have, that we are coming up now on the 12th anniversary of September 11th and also the one-year anniversary of Benghazi, and our American families who suffered and lost the lives of their loved ones in that awful, horrendous terrorist attack still don't have justice. And the idea that this intervention in Syria might aid and abet the same Ansar al-Sharia terrorists who were sponsoring the violence against our innocent American citizens should gall every single American. And if this goes down, it's not the right and it's not conservatives and it's not Republicans who are going to perpetuate the biggest backlash. Hopefully, it's those principled anti-war leftists that give Obama the saying to.
Getting rid of Saddam Hussein was a good thing. Things would have gotten better. The stomach doesn't have, the country seemingly, we learned, once it politicizes a war, we do not have the stomach and the ability to follow through to completion. We need to learn from that lesson. And a two-day bombing campaign is meaningless. All right, Michelle, good to see you. Thank you.
You bet. Take care.
All right.